Are you?
60 a.m. KBDT proudly presents Life Solutions, coaching, counseling, naturopathic medicine, insights for successful living, and getting better with Beal.
Welcome. We are so glad to have you join us today. If you haven't been with Getting Better with Beal, if you've not been with us Saturdays at 12 p.m. on 1160 a.m., we actually talk about things to help you get better. And I say we because I have different guests all the time. Of course, Dr. John King's been here for a few weeks because he's like
a little bit of a feature.
Yes, that's because Dr. John A. King is like the specialist of everything. That's my name for him. I mean, it's like he knows so much. And so today, if you have joined us for our talk about CBD for pets and people, we are excited about that. We're going to help you understand about CBD, the cannabidol, cannabinol, and how
endocannabinol system.
Yes, and the endocannabinoid system. So you want to learn about that because that's the system through the body that helps your body heal if you put the right kinds of things in it, like cannabidol. And that's what CBD actually helps heal. And so one of the things I want to say is that if you haven't learned yet that synthetics don't heal the body, then all you got to do is think back to that God made all the plants for us. And people would eat those plants. We are to eat them, and we are supposed to use them to heal our bodies. And synthetics, on the other hand, we don't eat and don't heal. And that is why, CBD is everywhere. It's everywhere. I just saw this huge billboard coming to the studio today, and it says, I use CBD. And so I know you want to get in on this craze. It actually is a good thing, not a bad thing. We know there's a lot of Christians out there listening today, and I want you to know that we can talk about CBD with THC, which is what marijuana is high in THC and low in CBD.
Correct.
And hemp is high in CBD and low in THC. And even no THC.
Done.
How does the THC get in? That's my question, because I read all about hemp this week, and they said it doesn't have THC in it. So did they mix it? Is that how they get the THC in there? Do they mix it with marijuana? Or is it just naturally have some in there?
So like we've got citrus, we've got oranges and lemon. People have no problem with that. What people seem to lose their mind is at the mention of the word cannabis. But cannabis is marijuana and hemp. There's multiple plants that are part of the cannabis family.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you've got marijuana, which is high in THC and low in CBD, and you've got hemp, which is low in THC and high in CBD. So when people talk about medical marijuana, they're actually taking marijuana or CBDs made from a medical marijuana. They're taking the marijuana, they're pulling a single CBD isolate out, which is totally different than a full spectrum hemp, and a lot of the THC comes with that. Okay.
So how do you make sure you don't have THC? They just take it out?
Yeah, it's part of the extraction process. Now, with the two plants, with the hemp and the marijuana, you have to go through a series of extraction. And, as you said, everyone's heard about CBDs. That the challenge that we have is there's so many bad players out there. And in our journey to try and find a product for helping with mental issues, a whole range of stress, anxiety that was tied in with my PTSD, we spent a lot of time trying to find a good one. And we ended up, some of the stuff we did feel a psychotropic effect. Even though they were supposed to, in Texas, in America, have less than 0.3% THC. Yet because of the bad players, because they're using marijuana, because it's a glut up in California and Colorado, and there's so much of it, they're forcing the extraction process out of marijuana instead of using something like an organic hemp plant and extracting naturally the full spectrum hemp and leaving the THC out of it.
And I think it's so important when you hear about that you understand about the endocannabinoid system. I'm going to have you explain that about the body, and that it's in people and it's in dogs and cats. And
any mammal.
Said all mammals.
All mammals.
Yes. And so this system that we can use to heal the body actually was discovered back in
1945.
Yeah.
An American doctor, Roger Adams, actually was breaking down the the hemp plant and breaking down the marijuana and looking at those properties. And what he discovered was the presence of these things called cannabinoids. So he didn't quite know what they were or what they were doing. The amazing thing happened is that 20 years later, a Jewish doctor found the bioidentical particles in the brains of rats. So that's why the endocannabinoid system is actually named after a biological particle. So these things called the cannabinoids existed in the brains of rats. Then in the 80s and 90s, they did more research, and they found that the endocannabinoid, the endogenous cannabinoid system, affects every part of the human body. It's like they discovered the respiratory system back in the 90s and goes, well, we've finally worked out what makes us breathe. We've all got lungs. That's the level of importance of this system they're finding medically to human beings, how we function and how we operate.
And they actually targeted that system for decades and decades and decades. And then they got into that they outlawed it.
Back in the 30s, back in Prohibition, hemp, for example, in Missouri was the biggest grower of hemp in America. It was a thing that helped buoy the agricultural industry. And when Prohibition came, they banned all that. And understand that hemp is used for rope, for clothing, for hats, for a range of things. So a whole range of things. It's not just, but then you've got marijuana being illegally grown, and you've got all that stuff still taking part and going on. And hemp just got lost because, as I said earlier on, people lose their mind at the mention of the word cannabis.
It's too bad. It's too bad that for so long we didn't know, because I didn't even know, even with our clinics, as long as we've had them, and working with all the doctors I've worked with, I didn't know about the endocannabinoid system. And it's amazing how many MDs I've talked to that they don't know about that system.
Correct.
And they aren't taught anything like that. And unfortunately, right now, if you ask your medical doctor, he will hardly know anything about it. Yeah. And it's a rare one who has learned. But definitely naturopathic doctors are learning. Everybody's learning again, and everybody is jumping on that bandwagon because they're so blown away by the healing effects of it and how it just takes all these symptoms away. Yeah. And in animals, it's amazing, too. And I know that people want to find ways for their pets to be better. And no one just wants another vice. You know, I was reading an article about a Vietnam vet that he didn't want another vice. He had PTSD, and the last thing he wanted, his wife was trying to talk him into using CBD, and he's like, that's the last thing I need. And she's like, no, you don't understand, honey. There's no THC, and it will heal it will help your PTSD symptoms. And he was so blown away that it helped, and didn't make him high, didn't have any of those effects.
And I think that's important to note. Most CBDs have THC. They're allowed to have 0.3% in the United States and still be called a CBD. Now, that doesn't sound a lot, but if you take it every day for a month, it's about the same as smoking a joint. Every day for 90 days, it's like you're a regular user. Now, the challenge with that is if you have to take regular drug tests or you get random drug tests, then that is going to show up for you. So what's so important, and this is really where our journey went, is trying to find a product that was the best product in the market, that wasn't one of these bad players out there, and had 0.0 THC. And there are probably 5 or 6 really important things that you need in a hemp liquid to be able to get the full advantage and the full effects of it.
What are those?
Well, it should be the product should be certified by the U.S. Hemp Board. Now, the U.S. Hemp Board is recently established because there is no government oversight, and they were tired of people taking gummies from Costco's, covering them in sugar, and then repackaging it as, CBD lollies or something. Or as the FDA did recently, there was a bus on a group bringing product in from Mexico, which was just coconut water and some, olive oil or something. So they set it up and they said, okay, this is what the standards are. So that's number one. You need a product with that, and we've found a product with that. The second thing you need is a product that is USDA organic, soiled, seeded, and processed. The reason being is that the hemp plant is so porous, it'll absorb anything out of the soil. So any chemicals or fertilizer or anything else or heavy metals are going to end up in the hemp product. So you don't want that at all. Now, and the next couple really come down to the science of it. It needs to be CO2 extracted because it's natural and more expensive than using an ethanol. You don't want an ethanol extractor because that's going to go into your body, and there's no point trying to take a natural cure and end up with that. You need it water soluble. Now, there's a few out there now that are telling you, wow, we're water soluble, etc. The reality is there's only one company that we're aware of in America that currently holds the license for the technology that turns the oil into a water. And it's not really a hemp oil, it becomes a hemp liquid. So you need that. And the next thing you really need is bioavailability. Most oils are only 3 to 6% bioavailable. The product that we found, and we've had incredible results with veterans, lawyers, doctors, pilots, etc., people with PTSD, is a product that's 94% bioavailable.
And if it won't absorb, if it's oil, you take oil and water, and they just don't blend,
mix. Yeah.
Right? They don't mix, and so that means that if it does that, then it's not going to absorb in your body either.
That's right. It's got to basically pass all the way through into the gut and then break down and then again get absorbed through the walls of the stomach.
Right.
Whereas a hemp liquid, you can put it under your tongue, hold it there for 60 to 90 seconds, and the majority of it gets absorbed through your mouth before it goes down into your stomach. And that's the quickest way to get it into the blood system and have and if you think of it, if you're having anxiety or depression, or you're having a nervous, or you've got some pain, inflammation, or something like that, you want to get that into your body. You don't want to have to wait an hour for the whole thing to go through, et cetera, et cetera. You want to be able to get it into your body, into your system, and get relief as quickly as possible.
It is amazing how many oils are for sale out there, right? So CBD oil, if you put it in water, if you take a drop of whatever you have, if you've bought it and you put it in water, it should immediately dissolve, and you shouldn't see it floating up on top. If you do that, it won't absorb, and if it does, it's only 3%, 4%?
Yeah, 3 to 4%.
That is not much, and you would have to take. That's why people will say, well, I just had to take more than what it said, triple the dose, quadruple the dose, but then I just felt tired. And then it tells me it's got THC in it too, if it made him tired. And so it's just not a good thing.
And that's why with the product we showed you with the Zelease Ultracell, is you take it and you put a dropper in, and it just it's dissolved straight away.
It dissolves. It's the coolest thing. You showed us that. And I think that when you learn all this about the endocannabinoid system throughout your body and through your animal's body, and that in order for this CBD to work, you've got to have it absorb in, and then it will travel through the whole endocannabinoid system.
That's correct.
And I really loved what you said the other day, which was your body, after a while, can make its own.
Yeah, well, your body, the endogenous cannabinoid system, the endocannabinoid system, your body naturally makes cannabinoids. That's what people don't understand. So you've got this phytocannabinoid, which is a bioidentical substance, and you're supplementing your body with a bioidentical substance by taking a full spectrum hemp liquid. So you take that and you put it in, and that's giving your body time to replenish. It's all what's going in there, and because it's bioidentical, it goes straight to work, and it takes the stress off your body's system, allows it time to build up. And a lot of the companies and a lot of products, and even in a lot of things in the health and wellness space, they want to addict you to buying a product, as opposed to healing and helping your body. And if you've got the right full spectrum hemp liquid, which is what we believe we've found in Ultracell from Zelease, is it just continues to not only supplement what you've got, but gives your body that time and room to be able to make its own.
Well, if you're interested in looking instead of just waiting, you can go to Zelease.com/gettingbetter, and you can see what's there. That is the product that we are talking about today, because it's a full spectrum whole hemp actual CBD. And but basically what we want is for you to know what you're giving your animals, if you're going to give your animals anything. And they even have a dosing chart on that.
Yeah, they do.
And you can be aware of what. But we want to talk about the main symptoms that are what do we say? Because we can't say healed. Symptoms that help, assist, go away, whatever we're going to say with the CBD when we get back, and how it's going to help you and your pets.
Right.
Been listening to Dr. Wallach, and I bet you have some questions. We want to help, and here's how you can get the answers. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Write that number down and make the call.
right now. Don't wait any longer to find out how Dr. Wallach's own all-natural nutritional supplements by Youngevity can help you. Are you concerned with reducing your risk of heart disease, cancer, stroke, or high blood pressure? Help is available. Do you have arthritis, sore joints, lower back pain, or fibromyalgia? Call now. Dr. Wallach creates his own formulation so you can be sure that what is on the label is actually in the bottle. Whatever your health challenge, make this call. Thousands like you have seen results for a happier, healthier life. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Call today, 800-214-0065. Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just two of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible Youngevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. They say we're not getting any younger, but many thousands have felt younger after a few short months using Dr. Wallach's all-natural Youngevity nutritional supplements. How many times have you said one of these days I need to call Dr. Wallach and find out what I need? Well, make that day today. Here's how to get that information. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Write that number down and make the call. The information is free and there is no pressure. So do it now. That's 800-214-0065. If you face health challenges such as heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, fibromyalgia, depression, infertility, ADD or ADHD, high blood pressure, or one of hundreds of other diseases, help is available. All you have to do is make the call. You have nothing to lose but the pain and suffering. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Texas hailstorms may come and go, but your old destroyed roof lasts for only as long as it takes for you to call Delta Roofing and Construction. Set up a free estimate today. Call 972-274-3582. 972-274-3582. Delta Roofing and Construction will bring the spirit of excellence to all your roofing, siding, and fencing needs. Delta can upgrade every window in your house, saving you both energy and money. Delta Roofing and Construction has it all under one roof. No job too big or too small. Call 972-274-3582 or check them out on the web at www.deltaroofing.biz. That's deltaroofing.biz. Delta Roofing and Construction is rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Homeowners insurance always welcome. Financing available. Protect your home and business with a new roof or repair, a new fence, siding, even new state-of-the-art windows, all under one roof. Call the finest residential and commercial roofing contractor in North Texas, Delta Roofing and Construction.
To admit it's getting better, a little better all the time.
And now here's more Getting Better with Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
Welcome back. We are talking about CBD with the wonderful Dr. John A. King. One of the things I want to let you know is tune in later today for a special replay of Alliance for the Brave this afternoon from 3 to 5. If you missed it earlier today, only on 1160 AM KBDT News, Talk, and Sports. And I love Robin, and I love her show. So tune in for us. We have today, we want to let you know all the things of the reasons that you should take hemp CBD oil. And if you think about all the symptoms that it cures, but before you tell us, or cures, I can't use that word, right? I can for animals. I can use cure for animals. I'm not worried about it. We're talking about animals. Okay, great. One of the things that I want you to know is Dr. John A. King. If you want to find him, you can find him in anywhere as drjohnaking.com, at Dr. John A. King. And he's live streaming right now on Instagram.
Yes,
Dr.
we are.
John
How
A.
you doing,
King.
Instagrammers?
and you can watch it now there. If you want to catch Getting Better, the Getting Better show, you can also go to tunein.com on the KBDT station. You can go to BigDTalk.com. That's Big D for Dallas, BigDTalk.com. If you're having trouble, sometimes as you get farther away from Dallas, you have trouble hearing the station. So just go there. Or you can go on Facebook Live with Getting Better with Ann Beal or Dr. John A. King on
there
Facebook.
You go.
So tell us, John, all the wonderful things that this actual product does. Hemp oil without THC.
Without a THC.
Mm-hmm.
So it relieves stress and frustration, and that's something I found very personally with what I was dealing with complex post-traumatic stress disorder. The stress and frustration was a big build-up, and it probably in a week to 2 weeks I noticed a massive difference.
But you had very severe PTSD
I did.
symptoms.
I had very severe CPTSD.
And you took how many years trying to find things to help you?
It set in 2008, November 2008, so up until probably 4 months ago, the beginning of this year.
And this is why we have finally wanted to use this too. We've been searching for things for the symptoms in clients that we haven't been able to figure out how to really solve those problems. And so when I heard you and I heard all about your story and what this did for you, I had to get you on and I had to learn. So we came to train with you. So it's been an incredible. So yes, share all the things it does for us.
Inflammation, I found inflammation, soreness in the fingers and in the back of the neck from fighting and from rugby and a range of different things. I found that, particularly when you're trying to go to sleep, that was an incredible relief for that. Dietary issues, urinary tract issues, cardiovascular function. Because the endocannabinoid system affects every single part of the human body, every single part of it. So I might have started taking for it because I had challenges with sleep or relaxing. Then all of a sudden, it comes down and it's like an avalanche. It starts to affect every other area of the human body. So that is one of the most amazing things. I took it for one reason, yet all of a sudden now I'm benefiting it in another reason. And the only way it can do that is if this system that is throughout our entire body, once it starts to function, everything starts to benefit from it. It has this entourage effect.
And all mammals will too. So dogs, cats, and we have something like that with our dog right now. So if I'm listening to you, the dosing chart, if you want to see it, go to Zalise.com/gettingbetter. They have a dosing chart, and because we have different sized dogs. And so for you, the inflammation, sleep, your digestive system, and then anxiety, severe anxiety.
The heart and lung function over oil. I think it's just important for your listeners to know that it's not just any CBD oil. You've got to have the right sort of CBD. And after the break, I know we're going to come back and talk about, what are the differentiators there again. But I think that's really important because Melissa and I spent thousands of dollars trying a whole range of different things. And you can't OD on the stuff, so people just say, well, just keep on taking a dropper full or take a handful of capsules or whatever it was. And I some days I'd take it'd take me half a bottle, and you take it. Now, people say, well, a good product costs $150, but I can get my product from the health food store for $80. But it's like anything. You don't buy your sushi or your CBD from a gas station is a thing to remember. So, and you do get what you pay for. And it's not how many cannabinoids are in the bottle, it's how many cannabinoids get in you. That's why you need a proper full spectrum hemp liquid.
And it's hard with all the research you've done and all the research we've done and all the research Dr. Wallach's done for his products, that when people they don't understand that and they don't know how much time and years and dollars, and so they just go, I'm just going to go down the street and buy it at a store, and they know nothing about it. Yeah. And so it's just and you can't talk sense into that way. You just have to say okay and be glad that you know and that you have what works, and it doesn't take a lot. That's what's amazing when it's such high grade and it absorbs 94%. That's crazy.
That is just crazy.
Okay, so what is the main thing that, as pets, for you, if you would like to know anything, ask us, all you guys out there on Facebook, just say hi to you guys and call us. Give us a call. Let us know what you what you want for your.
If you owe $10,000
in a new product, do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Then call InventHelp now. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential and explains every step of the invention process. We create professional materials representing your idea and submit it to companies who are looking for new ideas. We have more than 9,000 companies who have agreed to review ideas in confidence. If a company shows interest in manufacturing your invention, we can negotiate on your behalf. We have helped over 10,000 clients receive patents. We also offer services including 3D modeling and animation demonstrating your idea, prototyping services, and we use state-of-the-art technology to show InventHelp client ideas to additional companies. Join the thousands of people just like you who chose InventHelp to pursue their idea. We are experienced. We are working for you. We are InventHelp.
Call us for free information at 1-800-460-1663. That's 1-800-460-1663. Again, 1-800-460-1663.
Are you looking for senior care for your mom or dad but don't know where to start? Hi, I'm Joan London with The Place for Mom. Nobody knows your parent or loved one better than you, and nobody knows senior living better than the experts at A Place for Mom. They've helped thousands of families find the right place for their mom or dad.
I was so glad that I called A Place for Mom. My advisor really listened and was truly my partner in finding senior care for my dad. She went out of her way to get to know him as a person and was always there whenever I had a question.
The senior living advisors at A Place for Mom partner with thousands of families every month, listening and offering local knowledge and advice to help find the best senior living communities across the country. And it's a free service. Here's the number.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-370-2715.
There's a place for answers, a place for mom. Call today.
Call A Place for Mom at 1-800-370-2715. That's 1-800-370-2715.
When was the last time you really lost control of your morning radio listening? May I suggest JP, Kathy, and the crew?
I'm JP.
I'm Kathy. And together we're
JP,
Kathy,
and the crew.
And you are?
Kathy.
No, the crew.
Oh, man. I thought we were switching back personalities.
You got to stay with this here. If you're going to run with it, run with it. I mean, come on.
Both of you hush. They're JP, Kathy, and the crew. Check them out tomorrow morning and every morning, 8 to 9 on 1160 AM KBDT. If you'd like to get better, call Ann right now. 214-810-8255. 214-810-TALK. Now more with Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
We have some questions on Facebook. Ron's asking, he wants longer life for his pets, and he wants to be joint pain free. He says he has 4 cats and 5 dogs. And I do think that most people, you ask them and they'll say it seems like the pets nowadays aren't living longer than 10 years. And they definitely start breaking down their joints or their back before then. And those are the main things I would think right there. I mean, there are the more severe ones. Some dogs have seizures. But what do you say about that for Ron?
I think for Ron, mate, you start to it really is the endocannabinoid system is the engine for homeostasis for the entire mammal, be it a dog, a horse, or a human being. So once you start to fuel an aspect of it, in my case it was the ability to relax, to sleep, and some joint pains and inflammation issues, it started to avalanche into everything else. And I think you'll find it's the same in the dogs. So you start to reduce inflammation in the joints. It's also going to then flow over and start to affect things like tremors and a range of things. And we've heard testimonies. People have sent us videos of behavioral changes, joint changes. Dogs that had a challenge, they were down to 3 legs and they had a challenge readjusting. All of a sudden we're running around and hopping around and just enjoying life at a whole new level. It's incredible because the system starts to talk. The neurotransmitters start to fire with the receptors, and the endocannabinoids, the cannabinoids are those things that help improve those communication. So if that's depleted, you're not having that communication happen between your neurotransmitters and receivers. That's another reason why you don't want THC. THC is a cannabinoid, but your body doesn't naturally produce it. So you've got THC going through the bloodstream and embedding itself in receptors that your body needs your cannabinoids to get in there. Now, there's many. CBD is only one cannabinoid. There's CBD, CBG, CBAs, a whole range of different things.
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's about 140. So when you're talking about a CBD oil, you're talking about a single CBD isolate. Now, often that isolate is being pulled out. It's being mixed with a range of things that like polyethanol glycanol. You've actually got another substance. If you take a vape, it forms once it hits 200 degrees, something very similar to formaldehyde.
Yes.
You don't want that. You don't want the heavy metals, the fertilizers. You don't want that. What you want is a product that, as I said, was USDA certified organic, CO2 extracted, water soluble, quick uptake, bioavailability, and a full spectrum hemp product. You want all 140 cannabinoids. You want the proteins, the minerals, the flavoids, the terpenes, all of that good stuff that is naturally available in a full spectrum hemp that isn't in a single CBD isolate oil. And you want that hemp to not be an oil. You actually want it to be a liquid. And there's only one that we're aware of, that's Zelease Ultracell, that actually turns the oil into a liquid. They have got license to the proprietary technology. And that's available. If you're interested in that, Zelease.com/Getting Better, and you can find out a range of information, download some stuff, and it is worth investigating. If you've been interested, if you've been inundated, if you've been overwhelmed, as a lot of people have, it's like, what is a good CBD? What is a CBD? What is hemp? Then go to Zelease.com/Getting Better, and you'll be able to find a range of things. And stay tuned, because we're going to talk about a whole bunch more.
Well, also know that it doesn't come up on drug tests.
That's correct.
And that is very important.
If it's 0.0 THC.
If it's ultracell.
If it's ultracell.
And if it says 0.00, my advice to you, if it's not ultracell, you definitely just want to, if you do the 7-day sample, then take a test to make sure. That's what we ended up doing, because I didn't want to recommend it to anyone where it could come up on a drug test. And so we actually did it for 30 days. Well, how long now? 20? How long has it been? 20 days? And just did it yesterday and tested it. And so I still will do it. I'll test it again and again.
Great.
And I know that you were saying hair, blood, and urine was tested.
Yeah, there's a mate of mine who's involved in a large trucking company, and he wanted it for himself, wanted to recommend it to his drivers because they're sitting all the time, joint pains, and a range of different issues, but he couldn't unless he did it. So he took it for 30 days, then got the hair, urine, and blood test and came in negative. We've got people with security clearances, doctors, lawyers, pilots that are taking Zelease Ultracell.
And you have a Navy SEAL.
We have it. Yes, we do. We've got a range of guys that are military contractors, both in service and out of service, that are taking the product, and they've got to keep their security clearances, and they're tested randomly, often every month, every 2 weeks, depending on the jobs. And it's just, all of them have come back as negative. You know, there's no trace of anything. Again, if you take another CBD that's got 0.3%, by the end of the first month, it's like you smoked a joint. By the end of 90 days, it's like you're a regular user of marijuana. And the other thing with THC, and you alluded to it, Anne, is like THC is known to be connected with anxiety and depression.
Makes it worse.
It does. It amplifies it.
At first, it may make you feel like high. You know, you feel good. But what happens over time is it amplifies it. It makes it worse. It makes insomnia worse.
Yep, that's correct.
It's actually the anxiety that wakes you up out of sleep and that keeps you from being able to fall asleep.
Wow, very good.
Yeah. And so, and your neurotransmitters was one of the things you were talking about. It actually gets in there, and the CBD can't get in, and so it doesn't work as well. There's just so many things about that. And for symptoms that really debilitate you, you really don't want to have the THC.
No. We took it, we got onto it. We started it for health reasons, but then we found out how lucrative it was. And we're actually funding, as you know, we run a non-profit that works in the area of anti-human trafficking and PTSD recovery. Yes. They're our focus. And we started working with Zelease and selling Ultracell, not only because we believed in the product, because it's funding our non-profit. And this phase that we're in is, people have called it the green gold rush. And there's such a wealth transfer that's happening at the moment. That's why Big Pharma is getting upset. You know, Big Pharma makes its money by taking a natural product, turning it synthetic so they can put a patent on it. And they are so ticked off because hemp is everywhere and they can't get their hands on it. It's going to be $1 trillion industry. And a Big Pharma, for example, by 2030, will be making $360 billion on antidepressants and painkillers. Whereas hemp, a natural product, that'll be $1 trillion industry by then. Right. It's going to blow them away. And that's why they are panicking and scrapping at the moment. And
also why they weren't interested, because originally they're not interested in anything natural because they can't make a lot of money off of it.
Correct.
But the natural is what God made to heal your body. And natural heals. Synthetics don't heal. And so I'll just say that again. Anything synthetic doesn't heal. So there's no way it could compete.
No, it can't.
No way.
And even financially, it can't compete. Look, this horse is bolted. You know, we've got a reach of about 4 million people on social media, and we've got a syndication to about 600 websites of what we do. And we've had people approach us and say, hey, why don't you just white label your own stuff and get it out? Well, that costs millions of dollars to get there, the legal and all that. And the thing is, that horse is already run. So what we did is we spent our time to find and research, get hold of the best product, and the one we came up with was Zulise Ultracell. And we just said, okay, this is fantastic.
And it is millions. That's the crazy thing about it that people just don't understand. And they're just like, oh, I'm just going to go down the street and get something. And it's interesting because they'll take their doctor will prescribe something, and they don't even know that doctor very well. And they'll take it to the pharmacist. They don't even know what drug it is. They don't know the pharmacist. And they'll just swallow it.
Yeah.
And but you have something natural. This is how they've been trained. Well, I need to go research that. And I'm like, yeah, like you researched all those drugs, like right? Right. And so it just people have just been taught that natural's bad or natural's kooky. Natural's kind of the 70s crazy people or conspiracy or whatever, when it really is so much better for your body. And we have people at our clinic getting better all the time. Yep. And so my show was called Living Well, and we switched it to Getting Better because people just keep getting better. And so trust me, guys, CBD, the reason it's taken off the way it has is because of that endocannabinoid system that your body has and your animals, their body has. And it is actually a healing system waiting for the right things to be put in it, and it goes throughout your whole body from head to toe when you take it.
Yes, it does. Every part of your body is connected, and every part of your body is impacted and affected. And that's the thing. When you start to supplement the endocannabinoid system, people often talk about the gut and the brain and how they're connected. And it's true. They're connected by the endocannabinoid system. That is a system. It connects your reproductive system, your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system. Everything is impacted by it. You were talking earlier about research, and I remember when I first started, when I first diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder, I was prescribed a whole bunch of opioids and a range of everything and sleeping pills. And I took all that stuff and I felt worse. And I ended up just going cold turkey, getting it off it, and just because I didn't want that stuff in my body anymore. And I spent years trying to find something that would help me go from 90 minutes sleep a night to maybe, and I'm now up to about 7 to 8 hours, 4 and 5 and 6 times a week. It's a phenomenal change. And the only difference has been adding in this Ultracell product by Zulise. And, you know, I've done other things, diet. It's been part of a regime. I don't think anything's a cure-all. And I think what you're saying about natural lifestyle, it's everything that's a part of that. And you're correct. People don't research it. They just want to take a pill. They don't want to think about it. They want to prop up the very thing that's making them sick.
That's because they've been taught that, though. We kind of been brained that way our whole lives. You know, to just take a pill. And so to do things natural, you know, it's kind of harder, right? You've got to go out and get in the sun. You have to try to eat something that's a plant, right? Yeah. And like a fruit or a vegetable or something. And herbs, a lot of people don't even know the healing effects of herbs. And it is amazing. And so this one, when you learn about the endocannabinoid system and how when you put things in that system that help. Yeah. And then, you know, the other things, so you're saying it's not a cure-all, that you do also want to have all the nutrients, however you can get them
absolutely.
To be a whole healthy person. Yeah. But I do think one of the things about this CBD that's made it so big is that a lot of the things like the essential oils and all the other things that people had, this one thing hits all those areas. So all the areas that you have right there, John, read those to us because that is part of everything that you teach people.
So the solution to try and supplement this endocannabinoid system, we found, Melissa and I, was Ultracell by Zulise. It's got cannabinoids, all 140, and they're discovering more of those all the time, the cannabinoids. Terpenes, flavonoids, vitamins, minerals, omegas, and proteins. Full spectrum. And they as I mentioned earlier on, it's not just having a good quality one or how many cannabinoids in your body, it's how much gets in you. And one of the things I was impressed with the company, and this is the reason why we decided we were just going to run with them, was that they did the science behind it. They did an independent study at the Mayo Clinic. They had 20 people for 12 hours. They gave them it. They tested their blood every 15 minutes for the first hour, and it peaked between 85 and 94%. Then they took it every hour on the hour, and that ran for 12 hours. Now, the test stopped at 12 hours, but it was still maintained throughout it. Now, personally, I've found the impact of one single dropper of Xalise Ultracell lasts me for around 12 to 18 hours. Now, compare that to others where I was taking 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 droppers. And the reason it does that is that the technology, and Ultracell is actually named after the technology that turns the oil into a water, the Ultracell technology. And why it lasts so long and why it's a single dropper is, and why it's so highly bioavailable, 94% compared to 3 or 6% of an oil, is because of the water solubility and being able to get into the body, supplement the body, help the body straight away.
How is it that it can target things like essential oils can? Why is that?
I think that's the endocannabinoid system. Okay, so I noticed that I took it first for sleep, and then it went over and it helped me with the pain and the stiffness in my fingers. And then it's helped me with a couple of other things. I think your body, like anything, naturally just does those sorts of things. Like it goes through a cascade effect of fixing one area, okay, it's going, fixing another, and it rolls in. And then because it's full of terpenes, and terpenes, like essential oils, we know of the values in our essential oils and why this can help all those different areas, because that is also in a full spectrum hemp liquid like Ultracell.
And the interesting thing about the hemp, since it grabs everything from the soil, I know one of the things Dr. Wallach is doing right now is they're taking their minerals, which they know are fabulous. They have all the 60 minerals in them. I think they have 72 minerals that they're putting into the soil to grow hemp. And so knowing that hemp sucks up all those nutrients. Mm-hmm. And so if that's part of where you want to buy it as well, people who put minerals into their soil, really good minerals, so that the hemp will suck it up. So it'll have the minerals in it as well. It's amazing what's in there.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Now with your pets, this is the thing. You didn't have seizures, but you had severe paranoia, right?
Yeah.
And if your animal has disposition problems, I mean, vets do give animals bipolar medicine. They give them Prozac. I've met these animals, okay? So actually animals now are being treated like we are with drugs. And you want to use something natural for them. You want them to live a long time because remember, synthetics always have side effects. They don't heal.
Absolutely.
And the other thing is all the things this is targets, so you don't have to use so many other things.
Yeah.
And if you guys have animals that you're worried about right now, you can go to the website, Xalise.com/gettingbetter, or you can go to Facebook with Getting Better.
Say we're not getting any younger. But many thousands have felt younger after a few short months using Dr. Wallach's all-natural longevity nutritional supplements. How many times have you said one of these days, I need to call Dr. Wallach and find out what I need? Well, make that day today. Here's how to get that information. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Write that number down and make the call. The information is free and there is no pressure. So do it now. That's 800-214-0065. If you face health challenges such as heart disease, arthritis, diabetes, fibromyalgia, depression, infertility, ADD or ADHD, high blood pressure, or one of hundreds of other diseases, help is available. All you have to do is make the call. You have nothing to lose but the pain and suffering. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. You've been listening to Dr. Wallach, and I bet you have some questions. We want to help. And here's how you can get the answers. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Write that number down and make the call right now. Don't wait any longer to find out how Dr. Wallach's own all-natural nutritional supplements by Longevity can help you. Are you concerned with reducing your risk of heart disease, cancer, stroke, or high blood pressure? Help is available. Do you have arthritis, sore joints, lower back pain, or fibromyalgia? Call now. Dr. Wallach creates his own formulation, so you can be sure that what is on the label is actually in the bottle. Whatever your health challenge, make this call. Thousands like you have seen results for a happier, healthier life. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Call today, 800-214-0065. Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Focus on Valor with Jay Seffert.
Today we highlight Medal of Honor recipient William Henry Johnson. In May 1918, Private William Johnson was on watch in the Argonne Forest when Germans mounted a surprise attack. The odds were 24 against 1. Under intense enemy fire and despite suffering significant wounds, Johnson held his ground and mounted a brave counterattack, resulting in several enemy casualties. He even prevented a wounded comrade being taken prisoner. Johnson repeatedly exposed himself to grave danger by advancing from his position to engage enemy soldiers, sometimes in hand-to-hand combat. The action lasted throughout the day, and though wounded 21 times, Johnson used grenades, the butt of his rifle, a bolo knife, and his bare fists as he finally repelled the enemy advance. These acts of incredible valor would earn him the World War I nickname of the Black Death. Valor is a gift. Those who possess it don't always know until destiny calls, like it did for Private William Henry Johnson.
To admit it's getting better, a little better all the time.
You're getting better all the time. Now back to Ann Beal on 1160 AM KBDT.
Welcome back. We have discussed all about CBD for pets and people, and we hope we help remove the stigma about CBD. CBD, especially without THC, is what we were talking about today, and this wonderful product that Dr. John A. King over time settled on because it helped remove all his symptoms, and we've been talking about that. So if you just tuned in, you can go back and hear the rest of the show on Getting Better with Ann Beal Facebook. But before I go on, I want you to tune in later today for a special replay of Alliance for the Brave this afternoon from 3 to 5 with the wonderful, fabulous, gorgeous Robin Vellitudo, only on 1160 AM KBDT, News, Talk, and Sports. John, we are winding down.
Yes, we are.
Is there anything that we've missed letting them know about CBD?
I think the thing I'd actively encourage people to think about, particularly military spouses or anyone with PTSD, because sometimes working a regular 9-to-5 job is not good. One of the reasons we went with Solis is they offer us a car allowance. We've got that. Mel's brand new Jeep is being paid for by the company up to $1,200 a month.
I saw that beautiful Jeep out there.
And then next month is qualifying for healthcare up to, I believe it is $1,500 a month. Which, you know, I pay for my own healthcare and have done for years, and have the company cut me a check for that is fantastic.
$1,200 a month is fantastic.
Yeah, it really, really is.
It doesn't even take that much
to
get that.
No, it doesn't take that much. Look, people often say, well, you know, I want to start a business. So for an initial investment of somewhere between $500 and $1,300, you can have your own full-spectrum liquid business. You can join Ann's team. We work together. We do sales training. We hold meetings for people. We'll do everything we can to help you get going in business because the product is that good, and it is the green gold rush. You see it everywhere. Everyone's asking about it. They just don't know what a good product is. And if you've got the right person in the right place at the right time with the right product, that is called a sale. You know, success happens when opportunity means preparedness. And if you're prepared for what's happening, you've got the right product, you're in the right place at the right time, you will easily sell and you will make a whole bunch of money.
That's because when you, again, hear everything it does, reduces stress and frustration, improves absent-mindedness, helps maintain regularity, helps support cartilage and joint function. It maintains healthy lung function, helps to maintain cholesterol levels, helps promote urinary tract health, helps maintain cardiovascular function, helps maintain intestinal flora, promotes relaxation. Now, they're all worded in a way because we can't say it takes you know, can't say cure, can't say heal. So we actually said it in a very, very good FDA way. And that was Mel over there who wrote all that. And so
you can say that if it's a synthetic and it's been approved by a drug company and it's costing you $200 a bottle and they're making billions on a thing.
That's the only way you can say it if it's synthetic. But nothing else can cure you.
If it's natural, it's proven, it's lasted longer than any major company has been around, you can't.
Yes. So part of it is join in the team if you would like to do it as a business. We would love to have you, help you train and get the word out to help people all over the world.
And if you want to join it, go to Zalise.com/Getting Better and sign up there. You can buy product there. You can find out more about the product there. You can join Ann's team, and we do sales training every second or third Saturday. We hold events in people's homes, events around the Metroplex. We want to help you get going in what will be is going to be $1 trillion industry by 2030.
But, you know, or if you're like Mel's dad. Mel, can you come over here and share about your dad? You got to share about your dad. Can you? You don't have to say his name, right? Just share what he does because he actually loves selling it because everybody wants it, right?
And one thing about this company you can do that many other companies don't is you can sell retail.
You're going to give her a chair? There you go. Yeah, retail. That's what her dad does, retail.
So my dad was not interested in building a sales team at all. He just wanted to sell the product because he took it and had great results. And so he walks around with 4 bottles in his pocket every day and sells it to everyone he comes in contact with. And he's making an extra $4,000 or $5,000 a month
and
just
he
selling
loves
it.
Mel.
He loves
He's like, Mel, thank you so much. Right? You have anything else to say, John, before we end?
Thanks very much, Dan. Thanks very much for having us in here. It's been great to talk with you and share with people a positive and a natural way to make their life better.
And next week, Dr. Jim Slaughter and I, we're going to go through helping you remove the stigma from CBD. We're going to have different people with us that have had it help them and heal them. Help them and promote and assist them. No, they can actually tell you how it healed them because it's their personal story, and they will be here next week. So I just want you to tune in so you can get more details about it. And then August 5th, we have Alex Kendrick, who's the producer for the Kendrick Brothers from the movie Overcomer. And he did War Room and Courageous and Facing the Giants. He will be with us in 2 weeks. So, love you.